Hello, and welcome to the 24th edition of Beer Issues. My name is Matt Bruckert, and I'm really excited about the beer we're having today. First of all, the beer was brought to us from a good friend who has really liked the beer in Hershey, Pennsylvania. So I'm quite excited. We're doing a beer that a friend has recommended. The beer we're having today is from Troeg Brewery, the Jovial, which is a Belgian-style double ale, okay? So I'm really excited about it, but before we even get into this beer, and maybe while I'm opening it, we'll talk a little bit about what makes a beer a double. And this is also a bottle-conditioned beer, which we'll talk a little bit about bottle conditioning and why that's important, okay? But I'm gonna go ahead and kind of start opening this because it is one that has a cork. So we've got a wire cage that we need to open. So I'm gonna go ahead and start working on that while I talk about the beer, okay? What makes a beer a double, okay? Well, a Belgian style double is a brown beer, typically, that would run between 6 and 8% alcohol by volume, okay? And then when they talk about the Belgian style of the beer, that's the yeast that they use when they make the beer, the Belgian yeast, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and pop this. I'm gonna let it sit for a second when we talk about bottle conditioning, okay? Now with bottle conditioning, most beers, they force carbonate. So they force carbonate the beer as to where a bottle conditioned ale, it naturally carbonates from the yeast in the bottle. So think of your normal beers that you drink that are non-bottle conditioned beers, they force the carbonation in there, okay, as to where with the bottle conditioned beer, it naturally occurs in the bottle from the yeast, okay? And it makes it a little bit silkier beer, and it also makes it so it ages better. So you'd be able to age the beer a lot better, okay? Now, brown beers or doubles, okay, Belgian styles, they first originated at the West Malt Brewery in 1845, okay? That's when they made the first known recorded double in 1845, okay? And believe it or not, I believe it's the same West Malt that's still making beer today. So that tells you something about it. They've been making good beer for a long time and they know what they're doing at the West Malt Brewery. But let's talk about this beer because my friends love this beer so much, they brought it back from Hershey, Pennsylvania. So obviously this is gonna be a good one and I'm really excited about it. So I'm so excited about it, I'm gonna pour it into one of my favorite glasses, this nice Delirium glass. You should always pour a double, triple, quad, any kind of Belgian style beer into a chalice type glass. So now look at the color of this beer. It's a brown, almost has a little bit of a reddish tint to it, but I would definitely consider it more of a brown beer. Now, you can, right off the bat, you can smell that good yeast. It's a very, I think there's hints of like chocolate in there. I think they use some chocolate hops in there. Also, like caramel toffee maybe. So you're getting like a chocolate, caramel toffee, maybe even a little bit of fig when I'm just, right off that what I'm smelling. But I'm gonna taste it, so then that way we'll know for sure if I'm spot on here. Wow, that's really nice. And a really good double is a hard beer to beat. I mean, I like them all. I like the blondes, the bruns, the doubles, the triples, the quadruples, you name it. But a good double is a nice drinkable beer. It's not super high in alcohol content, so that 6 to 8 range. This one clocks in at 7% alcohol by volume, so it's like right in that middle range, but the 6 to 8 is the standard for what you'd find for a double, okay? And it's really got a nice carbonation. If you look, it's still got the head on there. And that's from the non-forced carbonation, so it tends to make the head last a little bit longer on your beer. I poured it kind of light so it doesn't have a thick head, which is probably what it should have. When I pour the rest of it, I'll make sure to put a little bit thicker head on there. But the head on a beer like this will last a little bit longer, okay? Because of the way they do the process, okay? And also, it will age, like I said before. So a beer like this, you can put it in your beer cellar, closet, wherever you store a beer to age. This is something it'd be great to drink a couple of years to see what the difference might be in the quality of this beer, okay? And if you like this, and I love when people recommend a beer, or even better, when they bring beer to me to sample and talk about. It's wonderful, okay? But even if you don't bring me a beer, send over a beer. So I'm doing this issue today, and I'll be doing another one for another person who requested we do a review of the beer. So make sure you make comments. If you got a beer that you just think I need to talk about, let me know, because as long as I can access it, I'd love to have it on an issue of beer issues. Okay, and if you like these videos, make sure that you subscribe on YouTube. That way you'll be notified when new issues come out. They usually come out on Wednesdays and Saturdays of each week, okay? I would like to thank Tiffany and Sharon for the beer. It's delicious. I'm going to enjoy it. And as my wife likes to say, I have beer issues.